YouTube, what is good? As you can see, today we have a project on our hands. It's been a few weeks since he's gotten a haircut, but we're gonna go ahead and get him right. Look, my boy is excited. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by picking out our client's hair. This is just to go ahead and elevate the hair off of the scalp, so we have a nice, fresh, clean canvas to work with. So what we're gonna do is start this fade with our clipper closed, starting at the top of the arch and working our way straight back. As you can see in this haircut, we have a recession area, that is really the main focus of the haircut for this client. So everything around that has to complement it. So in this scenario, we're going to be doing a slightly higher fade than usual, just to go ahead and not elongate the vertical bar area. So we want to make sure that we give them a nice tight blend on the side. So we're starting on the temple and working our way back. And I don't know if you guys can notice, man, your boy got a new camera. So I think, at least for a little while, the phone tutorials are going to be put on a pause until I figure out this camera and perfect it. It's a lot more lightweight, so it's going to be easier to film these tutorials for you guys. So if you guys are enjoying the quality, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. But now we're coming in with our trimmer right below the bottom of that clipper closed, and we're going to bald everything out. And now we're just continuing to do the same exact thing here in the back. And I'm making sure with my trimmer to not go all the way up into the line that we created with our clipper closed. Because the reason we started with the clipper closed is just to make sure that when we get rid of that first line, it's a lot easier to get rid of. So I don't want to work against myself. So I'm staying a little below that clipper closed with my trimmer. So right there, I'm using the corner of the blade to get behind the ear. And now we're going to go ahead and follow up our trimmer with our shaver. This is just to get it slightly closer to the skin. And you'll see, even with this shaver, I'm staying below the trimmer line, right? So every time I'm going up against what I just did, I want to stay a little below it so I don't create another line. And I'm just using my FX3 Babyliss Pro shavers. Go ahead and clean up the area, get it nice and smooth. Same thing on the other side. And if you guys are able to use the shaver on the client without irritating their skin, I always recommend to use one, because it just takes the fade to a whole nother level. It helps it to last a couple days longer, so it's definitely worth it if the client's skin can handle it. And now we're going to come in lever open with our clipper, and we're going to go up about a finger's width, still maintaining that same shape that we created with our bald line, which is straight back. So now we're working our way towards the back of his head, still maintaining that same finger's width. And I don't know about y'all, every time I watch these clips back, this camera is definitely super fire. I might be doing a review on camera because I know you guys always ask me my setup, like, Dre, what do you use? But I was using my phone, so like there really wasn't much to it. But now I have a little bit, I've advanced my quality, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys once I know what I'm doing with this camera, what I do, what I use to edit and all of that. So be on the lookout for that. So you'll see today I'm establishing all my lines moving up, and then I'm going to blend my way down. So I did one open, and now I have my 2 guard open, and this will be the biggest guard that we are going to use. But instead of creating a line with this guard, what I'm trying to do is freehand into the hair that he has on top. So I'm coming in with that 2, and I'm flaring off the shape of his head. And now I'm going to start blending down. So you'll see I close that 2 guard. And I'm trying to lighten up that line that was created, and then I'm going to drop down to my 1.5. So right here I have my 1.5 closed, working at this dark area. And this client has some pretty challenging hair to blend just because it's so dark and thick. that you have to keep brushing and combing the hair back down into place in order to ensure that you have a nice consistent blend. So we're still working with that 1.5, trying to get this area nice and cleaned up. And as you can see, little by little, you can see the top of this blend come together. And now we're going to drop down to our half guard with the lever all the way open. And then we'll close it in order to get rid of that line fully. So you can see I'm inching up at that line little by little. And then as I get higher into the fade, you'll see me open up that lever. So now we're all the way open, really utilizing the corner of that blade to break up those dark spots. And I always recommend when clients have like larger foreheads and a longer vertical bar to do a higher fade. Because what it does is it gets rid or shrinks down essentially how long the vertical bar is. So it gives the illusion, or at least a little bit, that the forehead is smaller than what it is. Because if you are to keep an arch and keep the full length of the vertical bar, you can really see what the difference is from the eyebrows to the top of the hairline. So if you're able to get rid of at least the middle of the vertical bar and blend up really tight, it looks a lot cleaner when people have larger foreheads. I'm speaking from experience, all right? That's what I do to myself. So I have to go ahead and do that to my client as well. So we're still working with that half guard here, brushing every time we pass the clipper. And now to get rid of that last line, I'm going to come in clipper closed and open up that lever little by little. And you can already see this blend starting to come together very nicely. And this angle right here is looking super crazy. If you guys are wondering what camera I'm using, it is the Sony ZV-E1. I watched a lot of reviews before I went ahead and bought this camera. And what I've noticed is a lot of cameras are great, but it's really all about buying a camera that suits your needs. And there's definitely cameras that are better than mine, around the same price as mine, but are just way too bulky, right? My last camera, which was the Canon, it was what I was doing my vlogs on. I realized that it was just so heavy, right? My tripod could barely hold it up when I put it in vertical form. So I just felt like it was time for a new camera. So this one's a lot smaller, a lot sleeker. So if you guys are ever in the market for buying a camera, try to find something that suits your needs. So now we're working with our one guard, trying to detail this blend. Now we're combing it down. You can see little by little, all we're doing is putting the details on this fade to really take it to that next level. And now we're going to come in and do some clipper over comb. So I'm coming in with that comb and flaring out slightly. And any hair sticking out of that comb, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. And I've been getting a few comments here and there about people asking, man, Dre, where's the vlogs at? You were dropping vlogs daily. But honestly, I drop a vlog every day for 2 weeks straight. And I found myself burnt out. So what I think I'm going to do, because this channel grew off of tutorials, right? So anytime I veer off of tutorials, the videos don't perform as well. Is I'm thinking about starting a separate channel where I just do vlogs. And I'm not going to promise them daily. But I will post, a lot more consistently. So if that is something you guys are interested in, is me doing a separate like vlog channel, let me know down in the comments, man. I might bring that to you guys. So now what I'm doing right here is coming in with my one guard closed, and I'm tapering down the hairline just so when we come in and line it up, we have nice short hair to line up that could get crispy, right? Because when it's too long or too dark, a lot of times when you line it up, you have a lot of overhanging hairs that kind of overlap it and don't allow it to look as sharp. And you can see from this angle why I gave him a higher fade, because you can see the length from the top of the vertical bar to the bottom of the vertical bar isn't as long, since we faded out the bottom and middle portion. That's just a cool trick if you ever have a client, who has recession in his hairline. So now what we're doing is blending into the beard, and all we're doing is a reverse taper, right? So we had our bald line, now we did lever open, then we did one guard open, and now we're at our 1.5 to finish off this blend. And it's very simple, very easy. And now we're back to our 1 guard to finish off this beard taper, and then we'll go ahead and attack the other side. So now coming to the other side, we're gonna do the same exact process, right? Now a normal day in the shop where I'm cutting and not recording, I will do that same process that I did on the left side throughout the entire head. But since I am recording and I have to keep moving the camera every time, I went ahead and did the left side, and now we're gonna do the right side. A lot of people like to fade one side and then the other. It's all preference, really. But that's what we're doing here. So now we have our 1 guard open, and we're gonna establish our line going up about that finger's width. And little by little, step by step, this blend will start to come together. And I know in the middle of a fade, you might get frustrated because it just seems like it's not coming out how you want, right? We all been there. To this day, I still get there where it's like, man, I definitely thought this was gonna be easier than what it was. But what I don't want you to do in the middle of a haircut is start to panic. And if you start to feel that way, turn around to your station, act as if you're cleaning off a clipper or grabbing something new, take a deep breath, and then apply what you know to go ahead and get back on track, right? Because the thing is with hair, especially on everybody's hair, it all grows differently. So when you're cutting, a lot of times you'll think it's gonna go a certain way, but this hair texture just doesn't allow for it, or you have to add an extra step. So the ability to pivot and really try different things in order to get a line out or to get a cleaner blend, just do that. Don't start to panic. You know, as long as you have your foundations and your steps, the rest you can figure out as you go, because you're not the only one. We all been there. To this day, I'm still there. So now we're just working with that 1.5, trying to clean up this area, get it nice and blended. And now we're gonna come in with our 1/2 guard lever open to get rid of that line above the open. And I found with this hair texture, and really all black hair textures, clipper over comb is really where everything starts to come together, at least for me, because I don't have to keep switching back and forth to guards. I feel like it feeds the hair a lot better when you're doing clipper over comb, because you could lift directly under the hair you want to cut. So I'm just trying to get through my steps as quickly as I can, and you'll see when I get to clipper over comb and blend into the top, everything kind of just comes together. Now we're just continuing to work with that 1/2 guard, trying our best to get this blended. But as you can see, my man's hair is super stubborn. And now we're going to get rid of that last line, coming in clipper closed. And then we'll open it up as we move higher into the blend. But what I'm going to do while I'm getting rid of this last line is I'm going to go ahead and talk about Drake Clipper Hands Academy. I know you guys been hearing about me talk about it for a few months, but very, very soon it will be coming out, right? With this academy, I want it to be as perfect as it can be, at least, right? I want to make sure that I'm bringing you guys value, that I'm able to teach you guys something and find different ways to differentiate this from my YouTube. So if you're interested in going deeper than what these tutorials on YouTube provide you, right? Because the thing is with YouTube, you know, I can be educational, but they also at the same time have to be entertaining in order to perform well, right? So my goal with the academy is to give you guys unfiltered, uncut, everything from beginning to end haircut tutorials, how I tackle certain issues in a haircut in real time with no cuts, no music, none of that. And then any questions that you guys ask me down in the comment sections, like how to build your clientele, how to go around social media, all those detailed questions that I don't get to answer on YouTube will be answered in Drake Clipper Hands Academy. Alright, so if that is something you are interested in, and I'm excited to bring it to you guys, go ahead and go to the link in the description that says Drake Clipper Hands Academy and enter your email. And when the academy is released, you will be the first notified of the drop. And it's really up. right? I believe that when you take this course, it's gonna take you to a whole nother level if you apply the information provided. So again, if you guys are interested in that, coming very soon, Dre Clipper Hands Academy, go to the link in the description and sign up now. You will not regret it. Also, Dre Clipper Hands merch, or not Dre Clipper Hands, but Clipper Hands merch is out now. Alright, we're almost sold out. We have a few sizes left in white. Black is very limited. That was like the first to go. But if you guys are interested in purchasing any Clipper Hands merch, you can go to the link in the description as well and get your t-shirt now. Again, I do not know when I will be restocking these t-shirts, so make sure you go ahead and get yours. And if you guys want to see the little commercial or trailer I put together for the drop of this merch, stay to the end of the video and you guys will get to see some fire content. Alright, so now we're finished off the fade. We're gonna blend into the beard, doing the same thing, just that reverse taper. So we have our one guard closed, tapping at it. Now we opened it up all the way and we're just blending right into that beard. So right now I'm just using the corner of my blade to detail any of those dark spots. And that blend is really suiting this client's head shape. The blend into the beard is nice. And now we're going to get into the lineup, which is definitely the most entertaining part of this haircut, because you guys see what we're working with. Really no hair in the corners. We got the middle, but we're going to go ahead and shake my man back. So I'm just pulling down some hairs from the front to go ahead and give him, you know, some bangs to go ahead and line up. So I want to start by lining up his vertical bar, and then we're going to move into that corner. So I'm starting in the middle, and you'll see instead of digging up into where the hair is darkest in his corner, I'm going to follow it or ghost it as if it was full there. And you'll see when I do this, there is a faint line after the fact, right? So don't always jump to lining up the darkest part of the hairline. Sometimes see, because there's hairs that are called like vellus hairs that you have when you first start growing hair, and really when you start losing it, because it's just thinner hair. And when you go ahead and line them up, a lot of times they appear a lot fuller than what they do when they aren't, right? So now we're moving into that right corner, and you'll see that line start to appear slowly but surely. Boom. Still very light, you know, it does not match the middle or the sides, but we are going to enhance this haircut obviously to go ahead and give it that full and dense look. But we're trying our best to get this as clean as possible naturally first. That's always the goal, right? Is to make sure you have a clean haircut naturally, and then if there is a need to enhance it or if someone wants to enhance it, then you do so, right? So now we're going to move into his left corner, and you can see off rip his left corner isn't as light as his right, but it still is light. So I'm going to do that same thing where I follow straight across as if all this hair was dense. We're starting to put my man together back in the game. And the reason I separated those front hairs from the top is because after I enhance it and line it up, we're going to use those longer hairs in the front to go ahead and push forward over that light spot to give it the illusion that it is darker or denser there. So now you see I'm doing some trimmer over comb to get rid of some darkness towards the right corner, or his left corner. And now we're cleaning up that line once more. And now, like I said, we are going to go ahead and sauce my man up with some enhancements. Now, the enhancements I use is just Kiss Express and alcohol mixed together. And I'm going to spray it on lightly and then darken it up as needed. Sorry for the autofocus. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out this camera. So I definitely know what to do next time in order for this not to happen. But just bear with me. It's almost done. So as you can see, we're filling in that corner using our card as an outline, and boom. Boom. That hairline is coming back as best as possible, at least. And now we're going to do his right side as well. It's a little bit of a better angle for you guys. So I'm spraying lightly and then darkening up as needed. And watch how dark we make this corner though. Sauce my man up, get him together. Even if it's temporary, if you could restore a client's confidence, you know, while they're in your chair, or even the day or the day after, that's the goal. We all know enhancements is gonna wash out. It's not that deep, you know. But if I'm able to provide that while he's sitting in my chair, I'm gonna do it. Especially if I have the ability to not make it look, you know, ridiculously fake. And now what we're gonna do is follow it up with some hair fibers. And as you can see, when I sprayed the enhancement initially, it's a lot shinier. So I like to follow it up with fibers to give it more of that doll look, because it's more natural looking, as if it's real hair. And boom, we locked it in with hairspray, and that hairline is set in there, my boy. Now we're gonna get into his beard. So we're gonna taper down the mustache with our 1 guard. I found this to be a good length that still keeps it dark, but also, you know, nice and lowered as well. So now we're getting the hair off the bottom of his lip, just tapping. We don't want to take this line up super high, we just don't want it to touch the lip. Same thing with the other side. And you can see I'm using my middle finger as a resting place on his face to make sure I have stability with my trimmer. And you want to make sure you brush the mustache as well to get all those hairs that might hang over. And now we're going to hit the top of the mustache. We're thinning it out a little bit, not super thin, but we do not want it to connect to the mustache. And now I put some shave gel, and we're going to hit the top of the mustache with the razor. And now we're going to line up the side of his beard. And you can see on his left side, the beard is not as full towards the bottom. But when we lined it up, we have that nice ghost line. And we're going to line it up as if it was full, just like we did with the hairline, right? Because we want to give the beard the ability to fill in if possible in the future. So I have my client blow a bubble once more and line it up again. And now we're going to go to the top and connect those 2 points in the middle. Now with this beard, you know, you do have the option to push the beard down to where the hair is dark. But it's also a lot more maintenance because you have all that regrowth that you need to keep shaving. So we still kept it high. And I thought I recorded the enhancement part for the beard, but I enhanced it the same way as I did with the hairline. I sprayed some enhancement in the light spot and then relined it to give it a fuller, denser look. And now we're going to frame out the bottom starting in the back. So you'll see I went to the back of the beard. Now I'm going to go to the bottom. And I'm going to follow kind of that round shape we already have established here. And shave the bottom of his neck. And this angle is looking super crazy, especially after we go ahead and do this razor. And we do not use the shaver on this client's neck because we don't want him to break out. So now what we're going to do is outline the hairline with our razor. And this is just to go ahead and sharpen everything up and get rid of all those little hairs that the trimmer couldn't get down all the way to the skin. Now we're going to take those off, right? Because our goal is to make sure he's as sharp as possible while at the same time allowing this haircut to last as long as possible. So we're hitting that hairline with the razor. Now what we're going to do is set our client back up and freehand any hairs that might be sticking out of the beard, causing it to look less full. And I think we brought my man back in the game. As you can see, hairline looking nice, beard looking nice, especially compared to how my man was walking in. Shout out to my man Carlton. He's been coming to me for about 5, maybe 6 years now. So definitely a great loyal client. So I appreciate you, bro. Now we went ahead and dampened his hair, and we're going to apply some level 3 forming cream just to give us something to work with when we sponge it. And now we're going to go ahead and give it some curl with our sponge. And you want to make sure when using the sponge that you're going in the same direction the entire time, because you don't want to unravel the curls, right? But let me show y'all what my man came in looking like in case y'all forgot. So we had some work to do, but we went ahead and got them together. Listen, I appreciate you guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and watch this commercial for me. What up, Will?
What up, Dre?
Good morning.
What's going on, man?
Good, good. Hey, what up, Zay? Alright, bro. I'm ready for you. Man, Zay, you alright, bro?
I just ain't feeling it, bro.
Don't worry, bro. I got something for you. Check this out.
What's this supposed to do for me?
Bro, trust me. Just put it on. Man, bro, so how you feel?
I ain't gonna lie, I feel good. I'm ready to cut.
Go ahead and take this walk in.
Let's get it.
See that shirt you got on, man?
Yeah, man, I was having a rough day, but definitely switched the mood up.
All right, then.
Dang, Zay, that haircut fire, bro.
Thank you, bro.
So how'd it feel?
Man, felt amazing.
Yeah, you know I got you, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, bro, can I get one of those?